In the gospel, Jesus gives us some very punchy teaching elements, and I've preached on a lot of those things before, so I want to turn our attention to that first reading that we have from the book of Kings, this amazing reading that has, honestly, so much spiritual fruit packed into it. So I want to squeeze it. I want to get the juice out of that fruit. So what do we got going on in this first reading? You got the Assyrian king, Sennacherib, who's threatening and he's taunting Hezekiah. He's threatening the king of Israel, and he's essentially saying to him in this letter, prepare to die. We're coming. We're coming to lay waste to your temple and your people and your capital. And he says to him, basically, don't even bother calling out to your God. Don't even bother. Like all the other nations whom we've already conquered, they did the same thing, and look what happened to them. They were destroyed. So basically, just lay down and get prepared to be trampled. So Hezekiah takes the letter, he receives it, he opens it, he reads it, and it's what he does next that I think is extraordinary and astonishing for us and really worth our reflection. So let me put it this way. I want you to imagine that you are Hezekiah, your king Hezekiah, and you receive word that the enemy, your enemy, this massive army is on the march coming to your capital with the intention of destroying you. How do you respond? Okay, try if you can to put yourself in that headspace on a Tuesday morning. All right. If it were me, let me tell you what I would do. I would probably summon my war council, right? Because I would for sure have a war council, all right? My generals, my commanders of the armies, I would set to work building up my defenses, supplying our storehouses, getting ready for siege, sending out riders to my allies, right? I would immediately be preparing for battle. Okay, what does Hezekiah do? All right. He goes to the temple, he goes to the Lord, and he lays the letter down in front of the Lord's presence and relinquishes total control over the situation and basically says, Lord, you got to do something. This is entirely in your hands. It's just so counterintuitive. It's so cultural is not the right word. It's just such a different move than I think most of us would make. I mean, it's amazing to me, like how fast I turn inward to protect myself. Right? It's amazing. Like, despite knowing how much the Lord loves me, despite knowing how much the Lord has revealed to me, Patrick, I'm your protector, I'm your defender, I'm your shield, I'm your father. Like, just trust me, stand still, and I will fight for you. Despite how long and how much I've reflected on those words and this identity of God and how I'm his child, and he wants to still lop off the heads of my enemies like David to Goliath, right? Like, despite how much the Lord has taught me, this is how you ought to fight your battles. Despite all of that, I still turn inward so quickly, like summoning my own resources to defend myself, to mount an attack. When I feel insecure, when I feel, when I feel threatened in some way, when I feel my limits, my poverty, my weaknesses on display, man, all of my inner defenses come right to the surface. That's just what I do. It's not because I want to do it. It's just we're so conditioned in this fallen world to take care of ourselves, to defend ourselves. Friends, I say all this being awfully self-revelatory this morning, saying this about myself because I just don't think I'm the only one who does this. I think we all do this. And yet here's Hezekiah stepping into the Lord's presence, basically naked, poor. I've got nothing, Lord. Like, I'm not going to try and defend myself in this. Like, you got to do this. You got to be the God who says, just stand still and I will fight for you. Come to me, I'll protect you. I just want to invite us to take Hezekiah's lead today, as hard as it is, as hard as that is, to not hide in self-sufficiency and self-protection. That's what Pope Benedict, he identified as the results of original sin is this. It came about because of this prideful presumption of self-sufficiency and self-protection. And we've just inherited this. I'll take care of it myself. I'll take care of myself. Instead, this Hezekiah turn that says, I will let you take care of me, and I'll let you take care of it. We need a little bit more of that. Amen.